Welcome back to another episode of Estradanary Conversations. I'm Ruben Estrada.
I'm Tiana Estrada.
All right, so what's keeping you up at night?
That's where we're going today.
I think so.
Where do I even begin? Most of the time, it's work that keeps me up. However, for how old is Aurora? 27 years now. It's been the kids. And a lot of people ask us sometimes if it's gotten easier because we have 3 adult children. And I always tell them that is the absolute hardest part of having kids. So that keeps me up at night. And then for the last couple of years, it's been menopause. So those are the things that keep me up at night.
What's the one that's most consistent?
Work.
Does that bother you?
Yes.
Why?
Because it shouldn't. Like, it shouldn't have that much power, for lack of a better word. It shouldn't have that much power over me. But it does. Because our work has become our life. It's a pillar of who we are and what we do. And so for me, I take that on probably a lot more than I should sometimes.
You think that's pretty common among families, is that, work, career, business?
I'm sure it is. It's hard to speculate just because this is how we've always lived. And what I think is normal to us, sometimes we find out is not really normal. People are like, what are you even talking about? So I think, yes, at a certain level, there's always sort of the work stress, financial stress, all of those things. But I sometimes have dreams or nightmares about like a deal that I'm working on or something that we're trying to get done. Or more recently, like we're so busy that it's waking me up at night. Like, what did I forget? Did I do that? Did I do this? And I think everybody has a little bit of that just in whatever areas of your life. But it's been a little bit worse lately as far as just like this morning, I was up at like, I don't know, what time was it?
5, 6?
I think it was like around 5. And I had been dreaming about something that I'm working on. And then when I woke up, I was super stressed because I was like, oh no, I'm gonna have to have that conversation. And then what are all the options? How do I properly present this? And so I immediately woke up and like my brain was already going. And so that part of it I don't like, because I have found, especially now in my older age, my middle age, I don't do well anymore with jumping right in immediately in the morning. Like I need to have a very gradual lead into my day, which I didn't used to need, but I do now. And so that's been a little challenging for me.
So is it, we say that, we jump on a running treadmill.
Mm-hmm.
How can you change that? How can you change that?
I'm still trying to figure that out. There's only so much in my control. And I think that's one of the hardest things to adapt. And those reasons that keep me up at night, I think like the hormonal piece of it, I think I'm getting control of. So that's something that I can actually like track and, log, and this helps, this doesn't, let's try this. So trial and error has helped me a lot as far as that piece goes. So as far as like general physiology, like physically sleeping, I'm doing better with that. The kid thing, there's nothing I can do about it. Like the kids are living their lives and that is completely out of my control. And it's not so much that I am laying there worried. It's just you always have that underlying, like, is Aurora at home and is she safe in her and Jonathan and Mila in bed? Is everything okay there? Are the babies good? Did Trinity make it home okay? All those things that I took for granted when they lived here and that I just knew, oh, there's the garage, so-and-so's home. There's the front door, so-and-so's home. You don't have that anymore. And so it's just this constant unknown. with the adult kids, which makes it very hard. Work, we were just having this conversation in the car because you challenged me. You said,
I don't challenge you.
you've been challenging me all week this week, actually.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. But you challenged me because we were talking about this and how it weighs on me. And you said, well, then you said to me, well, Tiana, you always say whatever's meant to be will be in our transactions. And I do truly believe that. But you said, do you really believe that? If you're worrying about it so much, do you really believe that? And so I paused for a moment. And I do. But where my worry comes from is, am I doing my part and making whatever's meant to be happen? Because you and I have this conversation all the time. You can't just sit there and say, well, it's in God's hands, and then just sit there. Like, you have to take action. And so for me, it's always, have I done everything I could to yield the proper result? And if I have done everything I could and it still goes whatever way, then I know, like, okay, well, this was really how it was meant to be. But I don't ever want it to be because it's something that I didn't do or something that I messed up, if that makes sense.
No, totally. Yeah. I think you have to cooperate.
Yes.
With God's plan in that. Yeah, I think he'll ultimately decide, but you got to put forth effort and action and do your part. Mm-hmm. So I agree with that.
So at the end of the day, it's what keeps me up at night is just, am I doing a good job with work?
And how did you come up with that standard? What is your standard? What is good?
Have I given it all I could? Like, you and I, when we go to bed at night, we have that question, because when we have rough days, we have challenging days, and we have great days. And on the challenging days, the only thing that we can say at the end of the night is, did you give it everything you had? And if you can truly answer yes to that, then I can sleep okay at night, regardless of what the outcome was. And there are some serious outcomes in what we do. Sometimes it's been the difference of, we pay our mortgage or we don't, kind of thing. So yeah, that's a very heavy, stressful thing to carry. But even at the end of the day, if I'm like, I can't think of one other thing I could have done, then I just have to accept that.
We are reminiscing about a recent deal, and we were sort of beating ourselves up a little bit in that, dang, we probably should have done more. Mm-hmm. Because the outcome didn't produce what we thought it was going to produce. Mm-hmm. And I'm being real careful here because I don't know why, but the bottom line was, we didn't do everything that we could have done.
Yeah.
And that really stuck with me, and it bothered me.
Yeah, I ate at you. I mean, it ate at me too. Mm-hmm. That's the thing. When you can answer that question and say, no, there was more, you either pray that there's time to still do it, or you have to do like a mea culpa and just accept and learn from it. That's all you can do. Mm-hmm. You can't go back and change it, unfortunately.
Yeah, because I don't want people to think that we're 100% perfect. Like, we give it all 100% of the time, and we get 100% of the results that we're looking for. That's absolutely not. I want to talk more about what prevented me from doing what I needed to do.
Yeah, because it's interesting, as that was all playing out, I was trying to balance.
Yeah,
I was trying to balance, because I was like, well, are you okay? All right. Maybe you are seeing this different than I am, because we try very hard to put ourselves in each other's shoes sometimes, because it's like, sometimes you think more clearly and logical about things than I do, because I do get emotional about things. And so I think that's a good balance. But sometimes I think you need to sometimes bring emotion into it too. And so when we have those back and forths, it was weird because we were both at a kind of like a standstill. Like, what are you going to do? Aren't you going to do this? Oh, no, you're not. Okay. You must know something I don't know. It was just weird.
I think I would have appreciated you stepping in.
Okay.
I think I needed the nudge. I needed your experience, and I needed you to help. And I probably should have communicated that, just like, hey, we doing the right thing here?
Well, let me ask you this. Is it hard then, would you say, for you to ask for help, especially in our work, because you just have so much experience?
No.
Okay.
It's not hard for me. No.
So why do you think you didn't say something? Why didn't you say, like, what do you think we should do?
I think part of it was we were headed on vacation, and I didn't want to think about work. Mm-hmm. I wanted to disconnect. And I didn't want to be like, I don't want to deal with this right now, honestly. Mm-hmm. Like, that was yesterday's. I should have worried about it yesterday. But today I'm on vacation, and I feel like I need to disconnect. Mm-hmm. And my mindset wasn't right to make that kind of decision, because it was very complicated. There were a lot of moving parts. And I feel like, dang, I dropped the ball. And I think if any one of us is dropping the ball, I think we need to have the permission to be like, hey, I don't think you're doing the right thing here.
Yeah.
I think you need to step up. I think you need to say something.
Well, I think that's one of the biggest challenges of having a family-owned business. And especially the way we operate sometimes, there are pieces that just you handle, just Nathaniel handles. We're not all in every transaction. And so when I think it started one way and then other pieces have come in, or, we pull pieces from other things, it gets messy. It gets complicated. And I think, we're still learning how to navigate that, because like you said, we're at a position where I don't want to demean what has happened to this point, and I don't want to make the other person look incompetent or whatever. So that's a really hard place to be. And we hadn't been in that position in a really long time.
Or ever.
Yeah, that's probably the first time ever.
There were, like, what did I say? I said there were too many chiefs.
There were too many chiefs. And I think because this specific transaction is so complicated and there's so many moving pieces and we're each handling a different piece, I don't think that we sat down to really navigate, and it all moved very quickly. That was the thing too. Like, it was all moving very quickly. We didn't sit down and, nobody died. It's going to be fine. Everything's going to work out. But it was the first time probably in our careers where we're like, oh, that question at night, I'm not going to be able to say yes to.
Yeah.
And that doesn't feel good, which then really irritated me, because then I was like, we could have just done the quick 5-minute thing at the beginning and started our vacation. It lingered with us the entire vacation. So in the end, we were punished twice.
Still being punished.
We're still being punished. We're still talking about it. Yep. Right.
Yep.
We're still being punished. So what keeps you up at night? Because you are up every night. I don't know how someone operates on this little sleep.
Well, if you look at my face, this is how it looks. I don't know. I don't know how I get through the night. Sometimes I'm scared to go to sleep. Like when night comes, I'm a little nervous. I'm like, ugh, I'm not going to sleep.
You immediately go worst case scenario at bedtime.
Yeah, I don't know. It must be some type of defensive mechanism. I don't know.
Well, you struggle. So you struggled I mean, we talked about my anxiety a couple episodes ago. You struggled
Yep.
severely with anxiety for a while. And I think, for lack of a better word, it's a little PTSD, like that you got so trained in like having these issues at night that now they're hard to let go of.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I had physically, had some problems. I wasn't eating right. I had gained a lot of weight. It caused other issues, caused me to have sleep apnea, caused me to have high blood pressure. And so any kind of little stress, even if it's just worrying about how I'm going to sleep tonight, like throws me into a mindset of like, it's not in a good place.
Would you say that you were kind of a control freak?
I don't know what is a control freak. Like you have to have
Well,
control
like you
of
have to have
everything?
control over everything. And I'm not, when I say that to
I don't
you,
know if that's me.
no, but okay, so I'm going to explain why I would think that that could be you. Is because when something happens, like your health or the sleep apnea thing, it made you like angry. You were angry that you now have this problem. Like you get angry at yourself if something happens that may or may not have been out of your control.
Well, yeah, when you have to put a stupid mask on your face and wear it just to sleep, makes me angry. And I'm angry at myself in that I made the decision along, this didn't happen overnight. So this took decades of bad behavior and bad choices to get me in a spot where I didn't realize that I'd be here.
Like you thought you were invincible.
Yeah, I think so.
Like that happens to everybody else, but
Yeah,
not me.
it's not going to happen to me. Yeah, I'm different. I'm
Yeah,
different.
I can control it. I can,
Yep.
because you've been very guilty of that as well. Like, okay, maybe we should go to a doctor, or maybe we should see something, or maybe we shouldn't. You're like, no, I can do it. I just got to exercise. Nope, I can do it. I'm just going to drink more water. Nope, I can do it. And sometimes you just can't on your own without a little help.
Yeah, and I got a little help. It helped.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took the edge off. I slept. I'm sleeping better.
Yeah, you sleep like 6-7 hours now.
That's amazing. I got an
Maybe.
app to track it. I mean, maybe even that's the problem too. I should probably stop
Checking.
tracking. I should
You know,
stop
there-
checking. Remember,
There's something to be said
Yeah.
about that, because so you and I have entered a weird place with our health. Like we've talked about it a few times. It just kind of punched us in the face. We hit this place with health, and it almost became almost obsessive for us. Like when we were concerned about your blood pressure, it was like, check it again, check it again, check it again, which that in and of itself was raising your blood pressure. With your sleep, try this, try that, try this, try that, try this, do all these things instead of just let's figure out how to get you to a place before bed where you're relaxed and instead of trying to, so, and then with me, it was like, well, do this thing, try that thing, try this workout, do this thing. And then, oh, check your blood pressure, check your weight, check this, check that. And it's like, sometimes you just have to stop checking.
I agree.
Because that, like, health anxiety is real. And I had it bad. I'm just now coming out of it. Because when you can't find a definitive, like, okay, it's this is this. Like when you're pregnant, oh, I have a positive pregnancy test. I know what's coming. This is what caused this.
1 + 1 = 2.
Yeah, when you can't figure that out. And for me, it was super frustrating because I had a hormonal thing going on. I have a thyroid issue, and it's just like the perfect storm, right? So it's been ugly for a long time. So you just sit there and you're like, every little thing. We both talked about this. We entered a place where we were so hyper aware of everything happening in our body that it became super unhealthy, like really unhealthy, to the point of like, oh, my one finger's tingly. Am I having a stroke? Oh, there's this. Oh, that breath was different. Oh, that sneeze felt different. You spiral so quickly. with this like health anxiety.
I'm going to throw something at you. And I think the reason why we go there is because it's a lack of purpose. Because if you have a bigger why, you hear that a lot, right? What's your why? If you have a big enough why, all those little things, they don't matter as much. It's not magnified. You're not aware of the little, aches and pains and the little headache and, all those things. So I think we, in those seasons, the season we're in now, it's because we lack a bigger purpose. What do you think about that?
I agree. We've talked about it. It's like, how do I have so much time to be paying attention to all of these things? Because when we would get like, okay, we have an appointment, I'm out, totally fine through the appointment, totally fine. Get in the car, you're by yourself, it's quiet, and you're like, oh no, I really don't feel good. So
Totally.
So you think like, if I was truly having a heart attack, I wouldn't be able to talk, I wouldn't be able to walk, like all these things that I'm just doing, right? So subconsciously, I'm like, I know I'm fine, but you're just like, it just creeps in. So the more time you have to think about it. Now, I'm not saying paying attention to your health isn't important, because it is, but it can't become all consuming. And I think that's another thing with social media. You Google one thing and now all your algorithm is full of, and I was guilty of that. And you called me out on it multiple times. I was like, oh, well, now I'm going to try this. Oh, now I'm going to eat this. And now I'm going to try that. And this person said this. And you're like, stop. Just stop. And so I had to just start not paying attention to what other people were doing and figuring out, well, okay, pay attention to me. Was it the caffeine? Was it the gluten? Was it whatever? Because I think we just make that mistake of like, we want an easy way out. We don't want to do the work. We don't want to do the research. So we're just going to go find some person who might have 2 of the 5 symptoms that I have, and we're going to follow them. And that's a slippery slope. And that got me into a really bad place. And so I finally just stopped. Like, I remember one night we were watching a podcast and I was like, you have to turn this off. Turn it off. I can't take this. Because they were talking about all these different vitamins and supplements and this and that. And I'm like, oh, maybe I should. And I was like, no, turn it off. And that's the last time, that podcast, when I told you to turn it off, that's the last time that I like went there.
I finished it. Just joking.
I'm sure you did.
No, I didn't. Yeah,
so it's the control again. So it's the control thing. You and I think we're in a space for a very long time of, I can control my work environment. The kids are little, so I can control, what we're doing. At least I know what they're eating and where they are and their times and all those things. And for a long time, we were able to control our health. Like, oh, I don't feel good, I'm just not going to eat McDonald's again. Like, it was pretty like black and white. While middle age, it got very complicated and harder to pinpoint. And so we allowed it to just consume a lot of our time, which then opened my eyes to the fact, like, you need to be spending your time doing other things. Like, if there's something truly wrong with you, you're going to have a very clear sign. And it's like anything else. If you look hard enough, you're going to find something. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's true with anything. I find myself sometimes being in a negative mindset. And I'm like, if I keep thinking that, watch, it's going to happen. A lot of people talk about manifestation, and that's usually on the positive side, which is great, but it works on the negative too. Like, you can speak things into existence, good and bad. And so our thoughts are very, very powerful. And so it takes a lot of effort to turn that off and try to take a detour.
Yeah, so I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna work on revisiting my purpose again. I think when you lose your way, a lot of other things can happen.
Well, and you start to become very critical of what other people are doing. Like, anytime that you're critical of what someone else is doing, or again, paying attention to every little thing in your body, or but anytime you are that absorbed in something, you're not focused on something else. And you should be focused, at least our belief is that our days are made up of being focused on others. And you can't do that if you're 100% focused on yourself.
What do you think about, in order to help other people, you have to help yourself first? Has
I
that
think
changed a lot?
I think that gets a bad rap.
Okay, what does that mean?
I've had this conversation a lot with my fellow mom friends, family members, because as a mom, you think you need to come last. Everybody comes first. And I think just as people, usually, my job comes first, or my boss comes first, my coworkers, all these people come first. But I just had this text exchange back and forth with one of our dearest friends who has been up and down lately. And around her a lot is going on. And I just reached out and I just said, I'm thinking about you. Make sure you take care of you. And she said, I can't even think about me right now. That sounds so selfish. There's so much more going on, and this person needs this and this piece. And I said, I get that. I'm not saying you can't be there for those people, but what are you going to do for them if you're sick? What are you going to do for them if you end up in the hospital? How are you helping them if you're angry or you're sad or you're whatever? So the thought of taking care of you, you can't pour from an empty cup, put your mask on first thing, I personally believe is an absolute must. And it took me a long time to get there, because everything I ever did for myself, I felt like I was being selfish. But I started to realize when I do these things, it makes me better for the other people around, because I found myself almost resenting doing all this stuff for other people because I felt miserable. If that makes sense. What is your opinion on it?
I struggle with it. I feel like it's going to take me too long to get right. Like, there's got to be a level that's enough. It's good enough to go help people. Does that make sense?
Tell me more.
So, like, I don't need to be well enough. Like, I just need to be well enough, I guess, to go help people. Like, I just need to be breathing, upright, able to walk, and I should be able to go help people. Like, I don't need to be super healthy, super fit, a lot of energy.
But do you think if those things were addressed, you could do even more?
Yes. But I don't know if I want to take the time to... but that takes time. It's a longer time frame, right? Mm-hmm. It could take years to be able to feel like you're in a position where you can help people. And I think that's where I struggle. Like, you can help people a lot earlier than that. Even if it's one phone call.
Yeah, but what if you could have helped them more than you did? But you couldn't because of the limitations you put on yourself.
I don't know if I could turn people away.
I'm not saying turn people away.
Because I'm just not in the right space.
But I'm just saying, wouldn't it be nice to just always be in that position so you're ready?
Absolutely.
Like, whatever comes to you. And I do think that you've gotten better, because there was a period in time where you would absolutely put yourself, or like, I'm not allowed to have fun. I don't do fun things. I don't have hobbies. I just work and I just dad. And so over the last few years, you've come out of your shell, and it's actually made you a little lighter, for lack of a better word.
That's a good word.
You do stuff. You go out with the boys all the time. You've taken trips. You've on your own. You've done a lot of things that you would not have done in the past.
You're making me sound like I'm 2 years old.
Well, sometimes when you break it down to like basics, sometimes we do this all the time. You break it down to basics and you're like, this is really stupid. Why am I doing this? Sometimes you just have to oversimplify things to make it make sense because we complicate things so much. But those things, you come back refreshed, revived. You're just digging from this hole that just sometimes it needs a little watering or something.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you get angry. Like you started to resent your job. You started to get burnt out. You started to do all of these things. And that's not fair to clients or whoever it is that you're working with. That's not fair.
You're right. You're right.
So I think
Yeah.
you should help yourself a little more.
If that's what you mean by helping yourself, then yes.
Well, what did it mean to you?
I don't know. It just didn't sound right.
You hear it as, and this is why I'm saying it gets a bad rap, because most people hear it as, I always come first.
Right.
And then
Yes.
everybody else. And
Yes.
that's at least not my interpretation of it. It's like, I take care of myself, not for me, but for my children. And or for you or whoever needs me, I'm trying to take care of myself. Because I think that if you don't do that, because we've had conversation about several family members that we have, the frustration when family members haven't taken care of themselves and we or our kids or somebody needed them and they can't be there because of they chose to put themselves way at the bottom or chose to not make those choices. It's really not selfish, because if someone else is depending on you, you need to be there for that person.
Yeah, I remember you told me that we were in our closet. And you're like, you need to fix you. Because our life doesn't work without you.
Yeah, and it doesn't.
Right. So.
So I said, if you can't do it for you, and I was very clear. I was like, let me just tell you what happens if you die. I have to take care of this house. I have to work every day. I have to. The kids have to. How do I pick them up? This is what happens. If you're not here, I'm alone every day. All of the responsibility is on me. And you were just like, I can't have that. I'm like, okay, well, get your butt in the car and let's go to the doctor. So it's not doing it for you. It's doing it for the life that you've been given. And we talk about that on a spiritual level. Like, we weren't given this body and this being to just let it waste away and trash it. And we've been guilty of doing that for a lot of years. But we have a responsibility with what we've been given.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not easy.
No.
And I don't have it figured out.
That is not.
I was just celebrating earlier in the car that I've had 2 days in a row where I felt good. You know how long it's been since I've had 2 days in a row when something wasn't wrong with me? So on the one hand, I'm like, that's really sad that I don't feel good all the time. But on the other hand, I'm like, okay, let me write this down. What have I done up to this point? Something's working. So I'm learning.
What have you learned?
I've learned that I cannot have gluten, which makes me super sad because I love bread and pasta, and it's hard. But you even mentioned, you're like, it must be helping you because I have been really good about not having gluten. You're like, wow, you're like all in, aren't you? And I'm like, yeah, because the alternative is so awful. Like, I don't want to feel like that anymore. So I've prioritized sleep. I think I finally got my hormone regimen correct.
Harmonies.
And I can no longer drink coffee in the morning on an empty stomach. I have to eat breakfast, which I didn't usually eat breakfast. So all these things are just starting. And you get to a point where we talked about ChatGPT and AI a little bit. And if you use ChatGPT enough, like I do or you do, it kind of knows you. It's like, oh, hi, Tiana. What do you want to know about your health today? Like, really bad. And that was one thing too. I went into my like ChatGPT history and I'm like, I'm embarrassed of
I want to see it.
no. I'm like, I am embarrassed at my search history. Like this is ridiculous.
Wow, because it keeps track on the left side, like
Yeah,
all the
like
things.
everything
Yeah.
that you've done and how many times I'm like, oh, it pulled up an old conversation. I've asked this multiple times already. So I actually asked it one day. I was like, am I going to feel like this forever? Like it's an actual person, right?
That's cool. What did it say?
It's like, no, Tiana, you've been, and it's like brought back all the stuff where I've said, like, because it asked you questions like, is this still happening? Does this feel better? What were your numbers? Blah, 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 blah. So it tracks all that, right? And so it'll tell you, like, well, you've seen improvement in your numbers and you've seen this and you've lost weight. So, it's just a period. And so it's very positive because that's what ChatGPT does. It likes to boost you up. But the day I typed in that question, I was like, this is a low for me.
Oh, yeah.
That's a low.
It is a low.
Who on earth asked ChatGPT if I'm going to feel like this forever?
You could pull up my Claude in my chat. I have nothing on health, which is not, maybe not so good. But I mean, that little chat log, that tells.
It's very exposing. It's like someone seeing your Google history,
It's like
your search history.
seeing my underwear drawer. Yeah,
Yeah. So I don't do that anymore. I have an open chat. Well, I open chat for work, but it's one of those things where like it just hits you and you're like, this is not okay. And listening to that, because so many times you can hear this is not okay, but I'll deal with it later. And just kick the can down the road. We always talk about kicking the can down the road. There's just been some things in the last few months where I'm like, I can't kick that can anymore. We're done. That's really empowering. Scary, but empowering. Especially if you don't have the answer. Like if I quit this, what am I going to do? But you just, because at the end of the day, we talk about this all the time. That's why I asked you if you think you're a control freak, because I like to joke sometimes. I'm like, do you think God is just up there like, these fools, they think that they know what's going to happen? Because we do. We walk around down here thinking that we have it all figured out and that we know what's going to happen and everything was controllable. And to a certain extent, it is. We have choices to make every day. We have free will, all of that stuff. But at the end of the day, we don't have the control.
But I still think you need to cooperate.
Well, yeah,
You
that's
need to
what we
cooperate.
talked
Yeah,
about in
yeah.
this whole thing.
That's-
You
yeah,
can't just sit
full
there and wait for
circle.
things to happen to you.
Yeah.
But focusing so much on like, I am going to determine how this comes out. There are times, more often than not, where I'm just like holding on, like I'm going to, and then at the end when I'm like, I've done all that I can't think of one more thing. And then I'm just like, here you go.
Let go.
Yeah. Let's see what happens. And 9 times out of 10, it's even better than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, that's interesting.
1 out of 10, it's like, oh, I didn't think it was going to be this bad. And for whatever reason, that needed to happen, right? But 9 times out of 10, it works out better than even I had hoped it would.
I think going back to that whole issue that we dealt with and where I basically shit the bed, I honestly thought that I put forth enough effort. Like, it wasn't my all, but I put forth enough, and it was going to work out. Like, it was my first time where I was like optimistic about something.
Great.
And,
The one time.
yeah, and it didn't work out. I mean, it could still work out, but so yeah, I think when you don't give 100%, you're always leaving something on the table that could negatively impact it.
I mean, does anybody ever be like, does it ever feel good to be like, I gave 90%? At least it was 90.
Well, I think just acknowledging it to begin with, to be like, I acknowledge I didn't put forth my full effort.
Yeah.
And that really stinks. That doesn't feel good.
No.
When it comes to eating, I put 100% of my effort into it.
Yeah, there are some areas where you just don't,
It's
don't
just-
sacrifice.
My standard's really high. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, one thing I'd like just to kind of give myself a pat on the back here is that I'm on day What day is this? 5, 30, 36, 49. Tomorrow will be day 50
50 days already.
of 100 push-ups a day.
And you, like, there's not been one, not
We went on
one missed day. We
vacation.
went on vacation. Like, there's
Yeah.
not, but there's been times where you were already in bed and you were like, I didn't do my push-ups. And you take off your mask and you get up and
Shut
you go
up.
you go and do your push-ups. But that is huge for you. And let's talk about that, because that also came from a podcast episode. I can't remember which one it was. When you were like, after the podcast, you were like, I need to do something that's like 100%. And that has been the thing where you're like, I don't care what happens, I have to do this. Like, I committed. So you were doing some like serious retraining in your brain, which is helping you physically as well. But just that commitment to say, like, because we're so good about being like, well, I mean, 50 days was, I mean, it's halfway. It's better than if I did 0. We always play that game, right? True commitment to something and following it through all the way to the end is so hard.
Well, I think when I first did it, I was like, well, I just want to do it for 100 days. Like 100 push-ups for 100 days. That sounds like a good goal.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't want to stop. Like, I want to do 100 push-ups for the rest of my life.
Well, and I think, again, I go to like a spiritual kind of place, but where I hit mentally and physically, I felt was like a low. Like it was pretty dark and pretty low. And so many people will quit and be like, well, this is it for me. And I think when that happens, we're given the gift of some little glimmers in here and there, like something triggers in our head where we're like, oh, but that's kind of nice, or that's different, or that. And to be aware to just like grab onto those things instead of being like, okay, I can keep doing what I'm doing and stay the way I am, or just grab onto those little glimmers and be like, how can I get more of this? And I think that is a beautiful thing to acknowledge and be aware of in your mind, to just take the littlest of tiny things and be like, but what if I could make this bigger? Like, what if I just did 1% more every day? And now you've like, okay, so in the beginning you were like, I can't do these. This is hard.
Oh,
like,
okay.
it was
so
hard.
I started, and then I had to take a week off because I was so sore. I couldn't do one push-up the second day. I couldn't do one push-up the third day. And I was like, all right, I'm going to give myself a week to get healed up here. And then from then on, it was like, it's awesome.
And you've added things. So like in between your sets, you will now lift weights, and so you're adding. I think that's just, it took 47 years to get to that place in your head. But the sooner you get there, I think the greater life can be, to just be like, for every bad, there's a good. And again, it's that choice.
Yeah.
We've been talking about choices a lot lately, just either between each other or people around us or just people in general. It's like having free will and making choices is such an interesting thing to look at and observe, because everybody has, in my mind anyway, everybody has the same choice every day. And why do so many of us pick the bad or the sad way or the negative way? And why can so many people pick the positive way? Like, why are we wired to look at things that way? And then I also get excited acknowledging the fact that you can change it.
Mm-hmm.
What was that thing we read the other day where it's like, the beautiful thing is like, if you wanted to stop worrying, you can just stop.
That is a fascinating concept to think about. Is that if you want something to stop,
You can just stop.
you can just stop. Like that whole, there's a comedy that, what's his name? Bob Newhart?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the Bob Newhart thing is just,
Yeah,
just
stop it. Stop it.
It's like-
Yeah, just stop.
It's so true.
Well,
Why don't we just stop?
Well, one of the simplest things that I've found that is helping me get out of my funk is I can't remember. We watch so many podcasts and read, and so I can't remember where I saw it. But I told you, I said I saw something that said if you're in the middle of like an anxiety or a panic attack or whatever is going on, talk to yourself like you would your child. And I thought about that because when our kids are in distress or our kids are going through something, we're like, you're fine. You're right here. You're safe. Stop. Let's think this through. Go drink some water. Go back to bed. Like that is how you would handle that, right? Like it's so easy to help them work through that. So at first I felt like an idiot because I was telling you, I'm like, I just went and talked to myself like I was one of the kids. Like I was having a panic attack and I was downstairs because I didn't want to wake you up, and I'm just pacing. Like I'm pacing around our living room and our dining room, just walking. And then I stopped and I'm like, Tiana, you're fine. Drink your water, go upstairs, close your eyes, go to bed. And I went to bed.
I do remember some of the episodes that I had that, yeah, I had to sit down because I was pacing too. And I was like, I'm going to die. Like, this is it. I'm living room, kitchen, family room, living room, kitchen, family room, living room, kitchen, family room. And I was like, okay. You just get to the point where you're just like, stop. Stop. But to have that sort of energy behind the stopping, it's hard to get there.
Well, yeah, I think you have to go through the pain, right?
Yeah.
I have had to go through, I don't know how many anxiety and panic attacks over the last few years to know I didn't die. I wasn't having a heart attack. So now I know, like, oh, it's okay, but you have to go through that pain.
Yeah, you're right.
You have to go through that pain, and
Yeah.
that's never never fun.
It's not fun.
No.
So if anybody's having these panic attacks and anxiety attacks, it gets better.
There's a light at the end of the tunnel.
There is.
And of course, everybody's different. And I have a few people in my life who are like, oh my gosh, you're having those too. And I'm like, I am. And they're like, I was having a total freak out whenever. And I'm like, text me. Even if I don't answer, just knowing that you are texting somebody who also is going through the same thing, or we talked about this on, I don't know, a couple podcasts ago, but like, just reach out. I think there's a fear of judgment. Like this person's going to think I'm crazy. So what if they do? But sometimes just the act of like saying it out loud or getting it out can help tremendously. So I told her, I'm like, text me. I don't care. Text me.
Yeah, I used to think that those were like just stupid. That's dumb. Like, why would I text somebody that when I'm having an anxiety attack? That's weak. I certainly would text somebody now. Absolutely would. Even if it's you. It's like, I'm downstairs again.
Yeah.
But I haven't had one of those in a long time. And I try to do my push-ups before bed. Just even after dinner, even after eating something. Usually if I eat something I shouldn't have, I'm doing my push-ups right after, even though it feels like crap. But afterwards, I feel so good.
So because we feel like we're maybe on the upswing of some of the things that we've gone through, like what are the things, what have you noticed? What have you learned about yourself? Like what are the things that keep you grounded, help you in periods of stress, or like what's working for you?
I think it's purpose. I think it comes back to purpose.
But what does that look like for you? Like how are you meditating on your purpose, and where are you getting your clarity for your purpose, and what is your measure if you're fulfilling your purpose every day?
Yeah, I mean, I used to be of the mindset when I was younger to go like super big, like, and I still believe that sort of mentality, philosophy on things is still okay. It's just giving yourself permission to start small. Like before, like in sales, it's like, oh, I got to do, okay, what's the most you did? I'm going to do that. Oh, 100 contacts in a day, I could do that. And then I wouldn't do it. And then I would get upset with myself. And then I'd quit. And I would just constantly live that cycle over and over again. Like I was constantly starting over. And that is exhausting. And it creates a lot of the bad habits. Eating the wrong foods, working late, working long hours, giving up personal time, giving up hobbies, giving up stuff that you love. All that stuff is from not giving yourself permission to just start. And when I started my push-ups, Ariana, she started doing them too, so cute. And now it's like, I'll ask her, I said, what's the hardest thing? She's like, getting started, Dad. Mm-hmm. And that's how we start.
Yeah.
So I think, and then the push-up thing, is just making the commitment. It could be one push-up a day. I don't care. Just do one.
Just commit to something and do it.
Yeah. And don't stop. I mean, don't stop.
Yeah, ever.
Like, I'm feeling so good. Why would I want to stop this?
Yeah. I think the beautiful thing as you get older, it's funny, in our industry, I see a lot of people that, the big headline this week is that Serhant, which is started as a New York based real estate company. He's been expanding. Ryan Serhant has been expanding all over. He came to Colorado this week and
opened an office
gotcha. Here. Yeah. So he has a Serhant here now, which is pretty exciting. And I think it's an amazing brokerage, but I see all these younger agents super excited and I love that for them. And it just makes me think of like that cycle that you go through and where we are right now, where the shift has happened to where all of my wins and some of the huge successes are in the small things. Mm-hmm. And for so long, we were so focused on the big things, and we did achieve some really big things. And you know what happened when we got there? It didn't feel good. Not to say that, where people are right now is not where they should be. I'm not saying that at all, but it's been a beautiful and just like, I don't know, just a peaceful thing for me to be like, my wins come in the small, everyday things that I'm able to do.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of blessings in the microeconomies of our life. Mm-hmm. Like before, it was like, yeah, I had to, to sell the most homes or give a speech to, hundreds of people. And now it's like, if I can make an impact with 2 or 3 people, I'm good. That fulfills me. Mm-hmm. Which is weird because it never just starts with 2. I mean, it starts with 2 to 3, but it never ends there, because then they tell 2 to 3 people, and then they tell 2 to 3 people, and pretty soon you're making a huge impact.
I think what's interesting is the way that hard work can pay off that you had no expectation of. Putting in work in places, it's the constant that we talk about, like you shake one tree and fruit falls out of another. And we've always ran our business like that. And it's very hard to explain to people because they're like, that's not a business plan. We're like, I don't know how to explain it, but this is just how it works. Right. So you and I have been putting in some really hard work personally, really hard conversations, really tough. Just, this sounds awful. I'm making this sound awful. It's not awful. But we've just had, we reached another level, right, in our relationship, in our partnership, that we've been putting in some really hard work. And I think because we've been so committed to that and so focused on that, I look over and I'm like,
we're looking at our board.
Sorry, I'm looking at our board and I'm like, our business has exploded in the last 60 days. Not because I turned on some ad campaign or started making calls or whatever. Like, the realer you get with yourself and the more true you are to yourself and the more authentic you live your life, the right people are attracted to that and they see value in that. And it opens doors for you to serve even more. That's been tremendous to me. That like blows my mind.
Yeah, I didn't correlate the two. Like 60
Like,
days
why
ago,
is this happening?
Yeah, 60 days ago, it was like, yeah, I mean, business was good. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I never complained about our business, but 60 days ago, not even business aside, but 60 days ago, you and I were like, this is a bottom. Like, I feel, I don't like this. This is terrible. I feel terrible. What are we doing? Like, I can't, I was ready to quit. Maybe it's my job is what I thought. Maybe it's my job. It's making me miserable. I'm going to quit. And I just started getting real with myself and making really hard choices that only impact me, because that's how you build the habits to do the hard things for others. If you can't even do the hard things for yourself, how are you going to do the hard things for others? Like truly do the hard things with the right intention. And so again, going back to putting yourself first, making those really hard choices, powering through when you're the only one who knows about them, I think lays the groundwork for some really tremendous things. Because it's really easy to do things for others and get praised for it. Oh, Tiana did that. Look what they did. Look what Ruben did. And you're like, oh, that feels good. But it's the stuff that you have in here that nobody knows about. When you work through that, then it's like you're unstoppable. And that's a really cool thing.
Yeah, I mean, what helps me is, and that's super cool. I love that.
I love that for you.
No. See,
No. Anyway.
See how difficult it is to give her a compliment? What was I going to say? I guess when I think about who do I want to become, who do I want to be, like, if somebody needed to go to war, like, not like
battle.
If somebody wanted to go to battle, would they pick me? And I hope that they would, because of what I've been through.
Isn't it weird the measurements that you have? We were just driving down the highway after checking on a property, and we passed the cemetery. And there was a funeral going on, and you were like, who died? Because there were people as far as we could see standing out. And all
we're driving 65 miles an hour down I-25, and we look to the right, and you just see this sea of people at the cemetery. I'm like,
all around this one. Yeah.
And I'm like, wow. And you were like, that person made an impact. And we were just both silent.
Because I wonder, and I've wondered more lately, because unfortunately in the last few weeks we've had to go to multiple funerals and just been in that space. And it's like, it makes you, for me anyway, it makes me reflect on, how am I living my life? Who would show up? Why would they show up? And what would they say? And those questions can be so powerful to just live your life by. If you were to die tomorrow, who would be there? What would they say? And why would they be there? That's powerful. And if any of those,
right?
Yeah, and if any of those answers make you sad or is not what you want it to be or hope to be, what can you do to change that?
Yeah, I mean, some success gurus out there say you should write your own eulogy. I don't know about that, but
I struggle. So I've talked to you about this before. Not that I struggle with eulogies, but I struggle at funerals because so many wonderful things are said about that person. And I always tell you afterwards, I'm like, I wonder if they knew that when they were here. And that thought entered my mind about 5-6 years ago. And ever since then, I just tell people, and sometimes I make it weird, but I'll tell people, like, I love you. Your hair looks amazing. I love whatever this is you're doing. Thank you for doing this. You, like, if you feel something, say it, because That's my fear. Like, it's all good and great to say these things about people when they're not here, but it'd be kind of nice if they knew it when they were here too.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think we just need to be a little more conscious of, like, if someone, because to allow somebody into your circle and to allow somebody into your life, at least for me, is a pretty big deal. After all these years, and there's these people that have stayed, and you have your core and you have whatever, do they know? Regardless of what you get from them, do they know? Like, if you died tomorrow, would that person know, like, Tiana loved me? Tiana cared about me. Tiana thought about me. I'm not saying that I'm the most important person in their life, but just to know, like, there's one person out there that I knew for sure cared. I try to be that person. Maybe it's 2 people, maybe it's 100 people. I don't know. I don't have a very big circle anymore, but the circle I have, like, love on your people. It matters.
All right. Well, let's leave it at that. To be continued.
See you next time.